Facebook, and let me hit the record button.
This meeting is being recorded.
And I can't read the introduction, so let me turn my light on. Is this the right page? Yes, okay. Jeez Louise. Oh my God. Hi, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
We are the spiritual neighborhood. Shut up, Elizabeth.
Here for your entertainment.
Yes, we amuse ourselves whether we do you or not. Get over it. The Spiritual Neighborhood is a grassroots community project of the Council of Families for Children, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. It means we're legitimate. We believe that sick can be fixed, so we support services that improve the quality of life for the body, mind, or spirit for the integration of a healthy, happy human being. And today we have Audra Watley. And we have asked Audra to be here twice a month because I feel like she is a miracle worker. She fascinates me. I just adore her energy. And I try to surround myself with people that are nice to me. So she met all the criteria. Yeah, I've been drinking Kahlua all morning, y'all. So just be forewarned. It's in a protein shake, but it's in a protein shake.
That explains.
It is the virus time. You have to treat with alcohol.
Yes.
You kill the virus with alcohol, right? All right, I'll shut up. Audra, what do you want to talk about today? I do have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
we'll start here.
Wanda Hefner, that's a difficult name, Hefner. She has a question for you, and she emailed it to Carrie, who emailed it to me. And she wants to know, first of all, she wants to tell you that she loves acupuncture, and she's found it very helpful in the past, and she finds it enjoyable, and it helps her to heal. But she wants to know if acupuncture can help with bursitis on your legs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good one, because my mother has it in her hip, and I need to know that too.
Yeah, so bursitis is usually going to be in a joint specifically, so I'm not really clear what she means by on her legs. She probably does mean her hip. And the answer to that is, acupuncture helps with increasing blood flow and decreasing pain and, just relaxing the muscles around the area. It helps to decrease inflammation. So in those aspects, yes, it doesn't do anything to the bursa itself. So, like I said, it does decrease the inflammation and bring more blood flow to the area and make it feel better overall. So as far as the pain management for that, yes, it does help. Does it change what's going on with the bursa? It may or may not.
Well, but you know what? That's still a huge positive because, like the doctor, I mentioned Mother has said that, to take ibuprofen, massage, so they're not curing it. I guess there is no cure. For many things, there's no cure. But if it helps with the pain, and especially with older people, not that Wanda's older, but my mother is, anything that gives them pain makes them sit in the chair and not move. And then everything seizes up. So.
Yeah. And
that's true. That is true.
If you reduce the pain so that they get up and move, that actually does help a lot of them. Now, bursa is kind of like a fluid-filled pillow in a way in those joints that helps them from like knocking bone on bone, right? So it's just like a little sack that covers up the end of the bone itself so that it helps to cushion. And when that's inflamed, there could be a lot of reasons that it's inflamed. But like I said, anything that helps with the pain itself is going to help them get moving, which is going to, ideally make them feel a little better.
Cool. So the answer, Wanda, is yes. There's no guarantee that it will work for everyone. Okay. But there is no guarantee in life except that you will die.
Yeah, pretty much. We've covered this before.
Yeah. So call her if you have the bursitis. If you have the bursitis, you want to call her.
Well, yeah, seriously, why wouldn't you want to at least give that a try?
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to help. Anything with pain, anything that will keep you from going to pharmaceuticals, that's where I go.
Yes, I agree.
Stay off the drugs.
I agree. You know what, Audra? I don't think you've ever...
even the NSAIDs, there's so many side effects to, the Advil and the all of the NSAIDs themselves. It's like, depending on which one, it can cause gut issues or liver issues, or just create, more problems that don't necessarily have to be there. So long-term use of NSAIDs is definitely not what they were meant for. And like I said, anything that reduces pain so you don't have to go there.
Why don't people take aspirin more often anymore? I know that they recommend it, for heart problems, but, aspirin when we were growing up was the end-all be-all, and frankly, I think it's a miracle drug. I can take aspirin for everything but cancer, and it cures it. So why do people not take aspirin more often?
I don't know the answer to that as far as why they don't. I know that when Advil and the other NSAIDs came around, a lot more people use those as alternatives. And I don't know if it was, even aspirin has some level of side effects. It does thin the blood, which is why a lot of people take it, particularly if they have heart conditions. But it just, I don't know. It's kind of like a lot of the old remedies. What I like about aspirin is that it literally is just an extract from white willow bark. So you can even take white willow bark in place of the aspirin itself. So,
Mother was at the doctor yesterday, and we were talking to some of the employees there, and they're all from old school things like home remedies from their culture. And we were talking about the fact that Vicks Vapor Rub cured everything when we were growing up as well. Right. And I do. I slather Vicks on for everything. It just feels good.
Yep. Still do.
A combination of Vicks Vapor Rub and then doing the, what's the oil? The oil packs. The, Castor oil packs. Yeah, they used to use that for everything, and those are actually still fantastic for clearing out the bowels and women's health and cramps. And it's like nobody uses those anymore hardly, but they're actually still really, really beneficial for a lot of people.
And castor oil will grow hair. Most people do not know that, but if your hair is thinning, no, look at my hair. Doesn't it look good? It's because when I lost weight, my hair thinned out about 8 years ago, and I spent about 4 months rubbing my scalp once a day with castor oil, and it came back better than ever, And I also had thinning in my eyelashes, and I rubbed it on my eyeline there. And I've never had great eyelashes, but now they're full. They're just, they're light colored. You can't see them. So I still have to wear mascara, but they're there. And
oh wow!
And it's like magnesium. Now they tell you if you want to sleep better to take magnesium. Well, magnesium's milk of magnesium, and people use that for years for all kinds of issues and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say there's lots of different forms of magnesium, and some of them are more easily on the digestive system than others. So milk of magnesium, I want to say I don't remember what kind of magnesium it is, but it does help to slow down and deal with digestive stuff. But the most common magnesium forms, because when you get Charlie horses and muscle cramps at night, that's a magnesium deficiency a lot of times.
Right.
And so the most gentle forms on the gut are going to be magnesium glycinate, or magnesium threonate is the one that crosses the blood-brain barrier and helps with sleep. Magnesium dimalate or magnesium malate is another one that is really great for the rest of the body, and it helps with the muscle cramps and all of that kind of stuff, but it doesn't cause the loose stools in the morning. So magnesium citrate is the one you most commonly find on the market. Thank you. And magnesium citrate can cause loose stools and those kind of things. So there are people that it does help them sleep, but it also helps them go to the bathroom in the morning. So,
yay!
So for some people, that's a good thing. The milk of magnesia is actually, I think, magnesium carbonate.
Yeah,
and so
that sounds right.
Again, it stays in the intestines themselves, which is why it helps to bind up and normalize the digestive system, but it doesn't necessarily help as much with muscle cramps and sleep and those kind of things.
Okay, so you know all this stuff, so I have to ask you this. Why does yellow mustard help with leg cramps?
I looked that up, and to be honest, they don't have a good reason why. They think it's something about the spice that interacts with the nerve endings at the back of the throat and in the brain, and it resets the muscle response.
It works, though.
Dang.
It does work.
Dang.
I know that it works. It's like that's probably my uncle's favorite remedy. That and pickle juice.
Yes, I'm a
Pickle
big
juice.
pickle
Pickle
juice.
juice.
My problem is that if I do that at midnight, though, then I want a hot dog. So it's just because that's the only time I eat mustard is on a hot dog. I'm like, dang, now I'm hungry.
I always want pretzel.
Ooh.
I want a really thick, chewy pretzel when I do that with mustard.
With mustard.
Okay, now I'm just really hungry.
Now I'm hungry.
You guys schedule this at lunchtime, and then we start talking about food.
I know.
So we're talking food.
And I say,
Well, Audra,
go ahead.
when someone gets started with acupuncture, should they repeat it every week, every
question.
2 weeks? Do you have a recommendation?
It depends on the practitioner, and it depends on what we're working on. So if somebody has an acute situation where they're in a lot of pain, occasionally we'll do twice a week. But most of my patients, it's like by the time they get to me, they've been through several other things. So it's been around a while. It's more of a chronic sort of thing. And so we'll do once a week and then have herbs that help to hold the treatment or moderate what's going on in their body over that week. So we start with once a week for about 4 to 6 weeks and then spread it out to 10 days, 2 weeks, and then as needed.
So that really brings up another question. We really don't know all the things that you do. So, and because someone asked me that last night, I'm like, I don't know. Go to our website, But tell us really, because I know you do like the supplements and the herbs. You talk about that a lot, and the acupuncture. But it seems like that you've talked about other things, and I can't recall all the things. So tell us.
Yeah, so traditional Chinese medicine itself, so most acupuncturists out there in the state of Texas, we are trained in Chinese herbology, so we all use herbs. And then acupuncture, of course, most of us are trained in something called Tui Na, which is kind of like Chinese therapeutic massage. So it's not like getting a massage therapy treatment, but it's just the muscle manipulation when we're working with pain sort of stuff. So acupuncture, we also do cupping in those pain scenarios. So all of that is part of the traditional Chinese medicine licensing sort of thing. What sets me apart from most traditional acupuncturists is that I have a postgraduate certification in functional medicine. And so I run labs like your MD would, but I'm looking at different ranges. So I'm, instead of looking at the are you sick ranges, which is what's on your lab report, because they're looking for, is it medically necessary to treat you? I'm looking at, here's the optimal range. And between here and the are you sick range, there's a lot of room to work with diet and nutrition and using supplements like magnesium, to impact the functioning of your body so that it functions properly. And so that's another thing we do. We also have a system called Advanced Allergy Therapeutics. It's basically a digital database of potential allergen substances that we hook you up to a cuff to the computer, and using muscle response testing, we look to see what you're responding negatively to. So say it's dairy, especially my people that they've been eating dairy their whole life, they get to 40 and for some reason dairy gives them digestive issues, right? Those kind of things. We can go in and pull up dairy and then get down into the details of dairy. So either like all the way down to the molecule of dairy itself, or if it's something about cheese and casein, or if it's something about the pasteurization process. So when you heat up dairy, it actually changes the protein. So sometimes we use that. So what that system does is that we send the digital signal, your brain pulls up the file. It's like, oh, look, here's dairy, and then we use a massager along the spine, and it feels really good. So we're reprogramming the brain's response so that the immune system doesn't kick in.
So you're not sending someone home saying, do not eat cheese ever again. You're screwed.
Nope.
You're not doing that, which is what you'll get from a traditional medical doctor.
Yeah. And, so honestly, if somebody has an IgE, which is an actual allergy response to something, obviously you don't want to eat it. You could have anaphylaxis, right? I can't do anything about that. That's a deeper issue. But if it's a sensitivity or something like that you've just, slowly become what most people consider lactose intolerant, it's not lactose intolerant, but that's what a lot of people call it for themselves. That's completely treatable, so that you don't have to stay away from dairy on everything. Now, that being said, anything in excess creates issues.
Right.
Okay. Dairy is one of those foods that, it's like I brought up dairy because it's one of the simplest ones to look at. Is it cow dairy, goat dairy, sheep dairy, or is it something that happens in the pasteurization process, right? But dairy is one of those foods that tends to create inflammation, and it's a very damp producing food. So people that tend to carry extra weight, or you wake up with, extra fluid in your hands and stuff like that, it's like staying away from dairy for a few days, or not eating dairy, 3-4 meals in a row. It's like limiting that dairy will help that. But as far as the intolerance of it, then if you have an intolerance, you would have had it your entire life. An intolerance means that literally you don't create the enzymes to break it down. But if it's something that you've created, this lactose intolerance over time, that's not really a lactose intolerance. It's just a sensitivity to the dairy.
So I find that fascinating. And what occurred to me about you last night that really intrigues me at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm listening to the dog and my husband snore and I can't go to sleep, and I was thinking about the show today, is that if I have a problem and I go to a specialist and they're going to say, well, I can fix this by doing what I know best. That's all they think about. So I've had 2 knee replacements because that's what I saw was a surgeon. And of course, he's going to do what he does best, which is cut my knees out and put those metal things in there and slam them down on the table until they work and send me home. What you do that I don't think people can fully wrap their head around sometimes, or fully understand how impactful it is that you look at the problem and you have a toolbox with more than one thing. You're not a specialist and then this is all that you do,
Right.
And for instance, my mom has had some health issues this past 3 months. We've seen a gastro expert. We've been to the OBGYN. We've been to the heart doctor. We've been to the general practitioner. We have had all sorts of tests. We've had to go to the ER. We've had a hospital stay. And I'm thinking, why couldn't one person help us with at least the majority of these things, because every time you find something wrong, you had to call another specialist and there was another downtime. And while we were waiting for that to get fixed, something else would break, and that's why I have such a high level of respect and appreciation for what you do. And the other thing is that you're not going to say you have to do this and we're done. You're going to look at the lifestyle and, dare I say, the willpower of the person to enforce it, and help them work around that.
I was going to say most of us have we have the power within us to heal most things. Now, if you've been in a major catastrophic accident, you need to be at the ER because they're going to fix the bones and the, the bleeding and the, catastrophic part of it. But when it comes to everyday health stuff, there's so much that we can do for ourselves. And so I spend a lot of time empowering people to take on that as part of their journey, because it really is a journey. Trust me, it can be quite the journey. And people want to be like, we're programmed for the quick fix.
Well, and I've taken a drink every time you said inflammation and my shake is gone. So it seems like everything revolves highly around inflammation in our body. So how do we address that?
Say that one more time, you cut out.
How do we address the inflammation? Because it seems like that we have a lot of issues, especially with children, that we never experienced. And people say, oh, it's because we played in the mud. Well, maybe it was, But there are other things going on. Where is all this inflammation coming from that didn't seem to exist, generations ago?
Yeah. the honest answer to that is that we live in a toxic world. There's so much more pollution now. And then on top of that, you add in like the pesticides and the chemicals and the stuff that are in our food. 100 years ago, people didn't eat processed food at every meal. They ate meat and vegetables that were, for the most part, organic. They weren't pumped up with hormones. They weren't sprayed with glyphosate. They weren't genetically engineered, all of that sort of stuff. I saw a report not terribly long ago. It's been in the last year and a half. It was talking about the foods that were highest in glyphosate, which is basically Roundup. And two of the foods that were the absolute highest were goldfish and Cheerios. And what do we feed our toddlers?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. And so then they wonder, why is why do we have food allergies and gut inflammation at 3 or 4 years old? Well, it's because you've eaten goldfish and pesticides, herbicides, chemicals. So it's really a sad situation. And I hear all of this stuff in the media about, boosting your immune system and, how much of a danger our current situation is. And truthfully, it's kind of like we would have stronger immune systems. We would have better health if we would change some of the farming processes.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, it's kind of like a lot of the chemicals that we're allowed to use and that are common in our foods that we don't even know about are banned in Europe and other countries, Canada, Europe, and a lot of other places. They don't use that. And when they have stuff that accidentally gets contaminated with those chemicals, they send it here to the U.S. They'll eat it, And so it's like it makes you kind of go, well, wait a minute, why are we not doing more to take care of the population instead of worried about how we're going to pay for healthcare with elderly people? Well, if you weren't feeding them pesticides and junk and sugar on top of the chemicals, they wouldn't have nearly as many health problems. I mean, 100 years ago, you didn't hear of cancer in nearly the numbers and the ratios. And it's not that it didn't necessarily get caught. There may be some cases where they didn't know about it, but for the most part, there wasn't as much. And that literally comes back to our food.
It makes me think of the nicotine conspiracy thing where we knew for years that cigarettes caused cancer, but it was hush-hush, and we went from one extreme of advertising that it calms you down, it's sophisticated, it tastes good, to now it's like, oh my God, people might actually slap your face if you lit up in public now. So it is an education process, but we're getting revenge on Europe. We're sending them McDonald's.
Yeah. I haven't been over to Europe since the mid 90s. And even back then they had, our fried chicken places and McDonald's. But I have to tell you, it's completely different there than it is here.
Really?
Yeah, completely different.
Well, my husband gets on a rampage about the meat paste they use for making chicken McNuggets and things like that. And, I don't like fast food anyway, and I don't eat at McDonald's anyway. But, just hearing about it is gross, absolutely gross. But, I do eat some fast food. That
part aside, it's like I have several people in my circle that they wanted the example. So they went and bought a Happy Meal and they put it on a shelf. And a year later, they pull it out, and it looks identical to when you bought it.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It's like between the wrappers and the stuff that they put on them, there's so many things that, keep it preserved.
Moist. Keeps it moist.
But it's it looks identical a year later, like it hasn't even been touched.
Okay.
I mean, the bugs don't even touch it. It's really scary.
That's gross. That's absolutely gross.
Literally, if you set food outside, it needs to have flies on it and be rotten within a few days.
Yeah, that's really no joke.
Oh my God.
I mean, if they don't touch it, that's letting you know that if they don't touch it, you shouldn't either.
Yeah.
Well, what's really bad is when the fly lands on it and then falls over dead.
No, that's
But yeah, I would say that probably it's like my biggest tip for everyone out there, no matter what you do for healthcare, the best thing that you can do for yourself for your health is, download the Dirty Dozen Clean 15 list. The foods that are on that Dirty Dozen list, don't eat them if they're not organic.
The Dirty Dozen list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you Google just Dirty Dozen Clean 15, you will find it, but it's on ewg.org.
If porn pops up, ignore that. You're looking for food.
Oh, geez.
I will tell you this: with the quarantine and isolation crap going on, I use as an excuse to get out to go to the farmers market here in Garland. And the first couple of times I went, we would buy things, and the food would be bad like in 3 or 4 days. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. And then the light bulb came on, like, ding, ding, ding. They're not using preservatives. Just buy less and eat faster, So
Exactly. Right? That's exactly it. Refrigerate and eat faster. Because foods that are ripened on the plant, ripened on the vine, and picked same day or close to the same day, it's like you probably will get maybe a week out of them.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
But it's like they probably pick it a couple of days before because they have to. They're not going to be out there the morning of the farmer's market, right? But that kind of thing because they have to get it ready to go.
Yeah, so now I buy with a plan. And what am I going to make with this, and how quickly can I get it done,
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Right.
I was going to say one of my favorite local places, yes, I like the farmers markets, and you guys are further south than I am. But up here in Princeton, there's Reeves Family Farm.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they pull in not only from their farm, but from some other local farmers. And they've got some really great produce. And right now, lots of cantaloupes and watermelon. And when you walk up, you can smell them. They smell so good, right? It's like you don't even have to put it to your nose because in the grocery store, you're like,
I know. You're sniffing that navel on that cantaloupe.
It's like you can't even smell the fruit. And fruit is supposed to smell.
Yeah,
That brings up an amazing flashback because I remember going to the grocery store with my grandmother, and we went often in the summer because she only really purchased what we would have maybe for one meal. So if it was a cantaloupe, she only got one or two max. And then if we needed it through the summer, we would literally go back. But I remember walking in the grocery store, going to the produce section, and it just... oh my God, the smells were awesome.
Yeah.
Peaches and tomatoes and cantaloupes and pears. Oh my God, those wonderful smells. I don't smell that now.
No.
At all.
And, a grocery store tomato, it really has no taste to it.
Yeah.
They don't have a taste to them. And when you take one that's just come off the vine or, some of them that are even hothouse grown locally to where they're ripe when they're picked, it has flavor. It has a really good flavor. So it's just different, right? The quality of food.
It's totally different.
My grandfather had 3 gardens. He had one at the house, and then he was a fireman, and they had one behind the firehouse, and then he also had one out at a larger acreage outside of town. And I can remember going to these gardens with him and actually sitting in the dirt and eating tomatoes and okra and even onions right off the vine because they tasted so good,
Yeah.
And then the other day, I'm in the grocery store smelling cantaloupes, and I look over, and there's a bunch of kids laughing at me. And then I realized how perverted I must look with these cantaloupes up to my face, smelling their navels, trying to find one that had any scent to it whatsoever.
They have no idea.
No.
Yeah, they don't.
They have no clue.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There was an actual comment on.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There was an actual comment on Facebook pertaining to the farmers, and this one individual, I have no idea how old they were, said, "Why are you bitching so much about the farmers? Don't you just go to the grocery store and get it from there?"
Oh my God, millennials! You gotta love them. You gotta love them.
Oh my God, you're gonna run the country one day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's fascinating to me that kids they don't even know that bacon comes from a pig.
No,
Like
they have no clue.
Bacon
Yeah,
and
it's like
fortified things there. They don't translate, like their hamburger or their steak comes from a cow.
yeah.
Because they've never had the exposure. Now, my niece and nephew grow up and like they raise cows, right? They have cows, and so my nephew would not eat a hamburger that didn't come from Spot, which was, one of the.
If I had a boyfriend, he would be made from bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, bacon is your friend when it's cooked right. There's a lot of bad bacon in the stores too. A lot of bad bacon.
Is there such a thing as bad bacon?
Yes,
Really?
yes. It has to have the perfect ratio of fat to meat. If it doesn't have enough fat, then it's meat. It's not bacon. Canadian bacon is not bacon. It's ham.
Well, I don't eat bacon anymore. I just thought, wow, there's actually bad bacon. But I see what you're saying, of course. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't like it on any, like my hamburgers and things. Bacon, it should be revered and eaten by itself. You don't want to mix it.
I don't like it on hamburgers either.
No.
Don't be adding bacon to all this stuff.
That's gross.
Is a sacred meal.
Exactly. I want to honor that bacon. I honor that bacon. I respect that bacon. Oh, I think it's I'm from Arkansas, and Razorbacks are our state, emblem. Sweet pigs.
Yeah, Baconator. Yes.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, my dad grew up in South Alabama, so I mean, it's
there. You go.
If it was up to him, we had bacon in our
every day,
and we had bacon in our black-eyed peas and bacon in anything.
Well, you had to. Yeah, you didn't use salt and pepper. You used salt pork or bacon. That's where you got your seasoning.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings up a valid point. If I come to see you, are you going to make me quit eating bacon?
I don't have a problem with bacon, for the most part. Now, if you do it in excess, that's a problem.
No, I don't. I don't do anything in excess except
I respect the bacon. I respect the bacon.
This show's the only thing I do in excess.
For some reason, I don't believe that.
Lightning is going to. There's a storm of brewing. I can hear it. It's coming.
You can feel it from here.
Does no one ever have my back on this show? How come no one ever has my back on this show? I'll be damned. Why do I never get my back covered on this show? Now, Audra, come on now. Come on.
Okay.
I have a question. I'm having an issue with dry eye this summer.
Yeah.
And it's just been a major deal for me.
Good question.
I mean, to the point where I wake up in the morning and my eyes are they just feel like, I feel like sometimes I have glue. I mean, it is just a profound situation.
Fixer.
And what do you recommend, Audra? I mean, what would be your first thought to do?
If she says eye drops, I'm cutting the show off right now.
No, so the eyes are the sensory organ associated with the wood element, which is liver and gallbladder. So anything that helps to clear out. She's like, wait, taking notes. Hold on. So anything that helps to, again, like reduce the pesticides and things like that, is going to help to clear up and detox the system.
How do you do that?
But
you can't take them out and wash them, so how do we clean them out?
Your eyeball or your liver?
The liver and gallbladder. I still have both.
Yeah. So the best ways to do it, milk thistle is a great protector. Milk thistle is a great protector. It protects from those pesticides and chemicals and stuff that we breathe and we can't do anything about, right? Everything that we put in our body that's a chemical has to be processed through the liver. So basically, it's like milk thistle is kind of like protective against that. There are some other things that help that clear the liver as well. Eating
alcohol, say
fiber
alcohol.
sort of things, not necessarily psyllium husk because that's can be really harsh.
Yeah.
But I think large fiber is a good one, just to help to add some fiber to the diet, clear out the intestines, and it also helps to just help the liver clear out the toxicity from the body.
So when you say large fiber, what does that mean, Audra? Large fiber, like wood chips? I mean,
larch, LARCH.
Oh, large. I thought you said large. I was like, oh my God, what does that mean?
Not large. Big fiber. No.
I'm not eating wood sawdust.
Yeah. Usually you'll see it comes from a plant called arabinolectin or something. I don't know for how to say that, but you'll see it if you look for larch fiber, you'll find it. But other than that, with the eyes themselves, if it's not it could be allergy associated. And again, clearing up and cleaning up some of the toxicity by eating more organic, taking some milk thistle if needed, those kind of things help to lessen the load so that the body doesn't have to process so much.
Isn't Mick thistle just a good thing to take in general, though, or is it something you should take just selectively? I mean,
I tend to go through phases of stuff. If you're taking something all the time, at some point your body just kind of goes, yeah, I've seen that all the time, and it doesn't do as much with it.
Like your spouse.
It does. That's true.
I tend to rotate things, and so it's like I'll go through a month or two where I really focus on eating all organic, mostly vegetables with some protein sources, and I'll do that for a month. And, cut out all of the processed food and everything else. And I'll start my morning with lemon water, just lemon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's hard.
That's doing a detox like that for a month clears up the system. Okay. So that being said, with the eye specifically, it's hard to know if it's just dry eye or if it's allergy induced. If it's allergy induced, cleaning up the diet a lot of times helps because you're just getting what I call an allergic load. If that's the case, right? So yes, there's pollens in the air. Yes, we have pollution and stuff like that. But when you've got, dairy that you're sensitive to, and then you eat some wheat, and then you eat some, peanuts that have, mold, because we can't help but have peanuts with mold because peanuts just mold, and then you put the next thing, your body may just be overloaded and reacting from an allergy perspective. Now, if it's really just dry eye, or irritation to the eye itself, sometimes, and I know this is going to sound kind of crazy, but just a little bit of coconut oil. And I'm not talking about the liquid stuff. I'm literally talking about the hard coconut oil. Just a little bit, like on the edge of your eyes itself. Sometimes that's enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know the castor oil helped me with dry eye when I started putting it on my eyelashes. It helped a lot.
And that wouldn't surprise me because castor oil is a detoxer as well.
Well, there's an old wives' theory that it also helps prevent glaucoma, but I don't have any reason to believe that's true. But what the hell, So.
I would say that's not one that I work with a lot. Castor oil is not one that I work with a lot. I know there's lots of information out there on it, and I know some people that swear by it. It's just not one that I've worked with personally a lot, but that definitely sounds like a possibility.
Well, we are out of time today, but when you come back, you can talk about whatever you want to, but let me suggest maybe we talk about foods or things to do for moods, because I know I'm in a mood.
All right. Well, next time we will talk about
All right, now tell people where you are, how to get a hold of you, how to make an appointment. And I will. When we get out more, I am probably going to bring Mom up there for her bursitis in her hip. So.
Yeah. So right this minute, we are still not taking appointments in the short term. We will open that back up at some point. But you can find me for questions at info@bzenhwc is our email. Our number is 214-551-4734. Our Facebook page is BZen Holistic Wellness or BZen HWC as well. And I think that's all my contacts.
Well, you should just call her and talk to her because she's just so damn adorable. So, I just love having you on here. And so we will see you at the end of the month. And we'll say goodbye now, and I'm going to go harass these other two ladies for a minute. So,
Awesome. Thank you, Audra. Seriously,
Bye.
thank you so much for the info. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thanks
you.
for being here.
All right. Look how this works. Boom. Recording.
The recording has stopped.
They need a different voice. I don't like her voice. I want some sexy Irish guy. And the recording has stopped, darling. I can't do
It's
accents.
no recording.
Slancha. Oh my God. So I just find her fascinating, and I could talk about things like that for days and days and days. I have a lot of dietary issues because of my weight loss, so I'm always researching how to get the supplements into my system and things of that nature. The good news is I went and gave blood this week. My cholesterol is perfect. Go figure.
That is awesome.
And
That is awesome.
my iron levels, which is something I struggle with because I malabsorb my food, so I have to eat a lot of different things to get all of my nutrients. Plus, I take so many damn vitamins, it's unbelievable. My iron level is normal. It's in the normal range.
That is awesome.
And
that is a major event.
I was nervous. I was worried because I haven't had my blood work done in 2 years, which is a no-no. But I'm too busy taking care of everybody else to do right by me. So.
Well, that's what happens.
Yep.
You know, you just get busy with other people.
Yep. So.
Moms come first. That's just the way it is.
Well, it's not just mamas. It's children. It's grandchildren.
You have a visitor.
She's very curious about what we're doing.
What's her name?
I see that. How
Samantha.
how amazing.
Samantha. Hello, Samantha.
Samantha the cat.
Samantha. Hello. Oh, look at her. She's
no.
coy.
Samantha.
She's playing hard to get now.
Samantha.
If I was over there, she'd be all over me on top of my head. So. So you did not.
Okay, that just makes me feel like I need to sneeze.
Oh my gosh. You really do have a lot of allergy things going on. You know what else? I
do.
Luann, along with the CBD oil, you know what we need? We need an expert, and I do mean an expert, not someone that dabbles in it, to come on and talk about colloidal silver, because I discovered this a couple of years ago and have dabbled in it. But I'm going to tell you, I've had some incredible success with it. And, there's always that thing, well, it'll turn you blue if you do too much, and all that stuff. So I get a little freaked out. But,
oh, wow.
But what I use it mainly for is like, because, you'll see me wiping my nose a lot during the show, is that when it starts running like that, I'll just dab it in my nose and it clears up my allergies like that. But, it has to be repeated every couple of days. But I just dab it in my nose just a little. So. But
Well, it's just been like an amazing. This is probably the worst summer I've ever had. I mean, seriously.
Well, it's probably because
For
you're indoors.
allergies and stuff, or sinus.
Do you have carpet in your house?
No.
Okay.
No,
See,
we
I
have
don't either.
hardwoods.
Yeah. When I got rid of carpets, that improved my allergies 100%. We've been carpet free
Well,
for
that's
years.
why we went to hardwoods, was to help my mom so that she didn't have so many allergies. But it's just been I need to go back and look and process my what I'm doing for my food. When she was talking about gallbladder or liver issues, well, I still have my gallbladder, and I do, I still have issues with it, and that could be the problem just right there.
Well,
I have not taken milk thistle before, so that would be new for me.
Yeah, I haven't either.
you know what else we need to talk about? Mother has night sweats. I'm going to get Mother fixed, so I'm going to bring everybody on the show to fix Mother. Mother has night sweats.
Absolutely.
And the doctors, none of the doctors have any, they don't even seem like they care or concerned. And so when we had the meeting with the OBGYN, I thought, well, she'll tell her that it's some kind of hormonal issue, but because she's her age, it's not hormonal, but no one seems to have any idea why she's having these night sweats. So I'm praying that this is a side effect of the medicine from the diverticulitis and getting well from that infection and the sepsis and all that stuff. And eventually this will stop because it's drenching her 3 and 4 times a night. It's exhausting,
Yeah.
So
I think
Yeah.
I think it could be that. I think it could be some sort of detox that she's going through because of the medication. But if it continues, that's what I would worry about.
So how long is continued though? So we've been out of the hospital 2 weeks.
30 days, I would say more than 30 days.
Okay. Well, I have emailed her doctor, and I will say this: her GP is an excellent communicator. We get responses back. He does a lot of the videos and telephone calls with her. I think she gets better care in some ways now than before the virus. So
Yes. In many ways, that is a much greater effective pursuit.
yeah, I think so. I really do.
I agree.
So
I've had intestinal blockage before,
Ooh.
and when you have something with your intestines and you're in pain, your insides are in pain. I sweat all night long.
yeah.
I think it's a response to internal pain.
Yeah, I think so too. My feet get hot when my back hurts. That will wake me up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My feet get hot and it wakes me up when my back hurts at night. You know what that reminds me of? Did you ever see that movie, The Last King of Scotland, which was about a king or a dictator actually in, I forget what African country. And he had this doctor that he brought into the country to treat him, and he was having horrible gastro problems. And he thought he was dying from cancer. And the guy climbed up on his belly with a baseball bat and just started rolling it like a rolling pin. And he had the biggest old fart. And it was just gas. And I couldn't believe they put that in that movie, first of all. And that's all I remember about the movie, honestly. Then it was all about horrible things going on with this dictator, but all I can remember is him rolling that baseball bat on his stomach and the relief that man got.
Well, when I go back to my grandmother's been around apparently a lot lately, but that was one of the things that she used to do, those old wooden rolling pins to roll out the dough and stuff. And she'd take that and rub it all over her stomach and on both sides and down her thighs and stuff. And it actually helped break up cellulite.
Well,
I thought she was crazy. I said, oh my gosh, she has really lost it. But it was really true. It broke up all these different things and it really helped. And it was like, wow.
But you know what? There's a new...
So that goes on with...
There's a new thing it's called lymphedema, not lymphedema. It's LIMPEDEMA, and it's women that have extra large limbs, and then also extra large rear ends. You'll see it, but they'll be thin in the rest of their torso. And it looks like they have horrible, horrible cellulite. But what it is that due to inflammation, these fibers actually wrap around the fat cells and make these clumps. And it's a different type of fat as well. And you can't lose it with diet or exercise. And so these women can actually lose 200-300 pounds and still have these legs that are 4 sizes bigger than the rest of their body and their arms. Yeah. And that is all related to our diet and inflammation issues. And the only way to get rid of it is by wearing compression stockings and things, and they use vibration plates to help break it up. And then eventually, if their insurance will cover it, they actually have a special water-based liposuction where they bring all that crap out. And it's just like, it looks like fibers wrapped up in all of that. That just kind of holds that into the body,
I do have a lot of junk in the trunk. I would like to have that removed.
I don't think I've ever seen your ass. Stand up.
No. People do.
Well, here's what I don't think a lot of people know. You and I have met casually maybe twice. No, at the center. You were at the center once, and then we had lunch.
Oh, 2 times. I take that back. 3, actually, because we worked together.
Where?
At that bar downtown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I forgot about that. Okay, Luann came to my house. Oh, and let me tell you something. I have a scar from hip to hip. where I had a bunch of skin removed and I had wound failure. And I've been using your tattoo salve, and that scar has not faded in 8 years. And it is about 40% less dark after using that tattoo salve.
Dang.
So you need to kick
That's
that
great.
up a notch so I can get rid of the rest of it. So figure out what you need to add to that sucker.
Oh my God, that is fantastic.
I've been meaning to bring that up all week and I kept forgetting. So now I just remembered.
Okay.
Because Luann's a
my
witch.
God.
I don't know if y'all knew this, but Luann is a witch. An absolute witch.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
You saw the cat. I mean,
Yeah.
what else do you need? I mean,
And-
seriously.
And here's what else that's funny. I thought of you yesterday, Luann, when we were at the doctor with Mom. I don't know how we even got onto it, but elderberry came up. And she said that she's never used it, but she's heard it's really good. And I said, well, we've been using it. And she goes, well, keep using it, because I have been thinking about adding that to my regime with my patients and stuff, but I need to do some more research and find a good source for it. So these doctors are now figuring out they don't know all, be all, end all, you know. And
Well, we know a good source.
yes, that's my whole
Yeah.
point. And we just need to do probably next Tuesday, instead of just doing a typical Tipsy Techo Tuesday, just do a whole session on elderberry with you next week.
Oh, okay.
So be prepared.
I think
All right.
that'd be awesome.
I can do
That
that.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I try not to surprise y'all too much, but I have these conversations in my head and I forget I didn't include you in it. So
I do that in text messages. You know, you're just supposed to understand the words I left out because y'all just are supposed to hear it.
well, here's the scary
Y'all
part.
just know.
I do understand it. That's the scary part.
Right. Well, I do. When I read text messages, I hear the person's voice in my head.
Yeah, I do too. But going back to my point,
Yeah.
I've only met Elizabeth 3 times. Luann, I met for 5 minutes when she brought that salve that I was talking about and some other things to my house. The other thing that she gave me was this throat spray with elderberry, and
Echinacea.
it does have a lot of alcohol in that, or is it the syrup that has?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually the herbs are soaked in alcohol.
Yeah, I just kind of go by the refrigerator and squirt once in a while when I need to pick me up. But
Well, that's what you do. It works.
I had a horrible sore throat in February or March or sometime. I don't know how long ago it was. I used that for 3 times, not 3 days, 3 times, and it cleared everything up. I mean, I was in pain. So, I mean, it is a miracle, an absolute miracle drug, I think. So, but I've only met her for that 5 minutes. So it's not like we're sitting up here and we're best friends and we just know what everybody's going to do. So I imagine these 2 ladies watch me sometimes go, oh, fuck, what you going to do now? You know? They don't know.
No.
They don't know.
No, we don't do that.
You
That's
don't-
not what we do.
Really?
No.
You're just ready. You're just ready. You're prepared. You're girded. Your
course.
loins are girded for the battle.
She's got her white flag.
You just give up.
Okay.
Just go with the flow.
I got mine.
Go with the flow.
I'd rather see your
We go with the flow.
I'd
That's
rather
what
see
we
your
do.
loins girded. Can y'all gird your loins for the next show?
Oh my God.
No.
It's finally
Okay,
sinking into Elizabeth.
I
It's finally sinking in.
I think I need to go to Michael's. I hear Michael's calling me. Come buy stuff from Be Creative.
Yes. Get something you can gird yourself with. Gird those loins.
Stop it! I've already got a list of stuff I've got to look up as it is. Now I've got to look that up. Stop.
What are you going to make me?
Girded loin.
What are you going to make me?
No!
You're
It would
going
have to be some Halloween. That's for sure. I'm already starting.
Oh, my.
I'm already starting. Have you not seen my
No, I haven't seen
Have you not
shit.
seen my series of food? Okay, obviously I am not getting enough sleep.
No.
Okay.
And that's why we got to talk about moods, because I will tell you, I'm feeling the wear and tear of this virus shit. I am.
Yeah.
I even forget to cuss
understand.
sometimes.
I totally understand.
I even forget to cuss sometimes. I've actually gone 2 and 3 whole days and not cussed. It's depressing.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
You just need to bring it out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You're right. You're right.
Bring it up. Bring it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Release and let go.
What the hell? I will punch you in the face the next time I see you if you say that to me. Oh my God.
It's like, oh my God. Okay.
Release and let go.
Oh.
Release and let go. Let the doves fly.
Oh my God, that is just too funny.
I am putting
Okay,
up.
we're off tomorrow. Don't forget to mention our sponsor,
Jesse.
Jesse.
I mentioned
Jesse?
No, Jesse Everett, Everett Works. You can find him on my Facebook list. You can find him on our sponsors list. He's our only sponsor. You can be a sponsor too, and we can ignore you and forget to mention your name and all that other stuff for a very cheap fee of $50 a month. So join the list.
Really? Absolutely. We will help. And we will be off tomorrow, so we will not be back until Monday.
Correct.
What's today?
This is Thursday, all day.
Oh,
All day.
I'm doing something special with Lou Ann tomorrow. If it turns out well, we'll talk about it.
Awesome. Fantastic.
In fact, I wonder if we should maybe record it and then just put it up for people to watch. What do you think?
Well, you can do that if you want to.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Yes,
Excellent.
let's see how it goes.
If I embarrass myself, I don't want to put it up.
I'm worried about embarrassing myself.
Yeah, me too. I'm worried for both of us. And I am going to put up a new tape tomorrow on the YouTube channel of affirmations. So the affirmations cover a lot of different body aches and pains, and also money flow and prosperity and well-being in general. So if you're a firm believer in Louise Hay or Florence Scovel Shin, I'm using their affirmations in the recording, and I think you'll find them helpful.
I've got 3 of her books.
I love
Absolutely. First book.
Which one, Hay or Shin?
Shin.
Me
That's
too.
the first book my mom purchased for me. The very first one. I've got the 3. The red, the green, and the blue.
I'll have them all too. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the first book she ever bought me was Florence Scovel Shin.
Oh my God.
What is it?
We have that
The red
common.
book.
We have-
That red book.
Your word is your wand. The
Your
game of life and how to succeed at it, and I forget the name of the other one. But
Yes.
huge student of hers. I believe in her her teaching so much.
Oh, yeah.
So, and she was actually
it was amazing.
If you don't
I
know
loved
this,
it.
she is credited with being the beginning of the prosperity law of attraction, prosperity guidelines, the metaphysical, spiritual opening community, and encompassing all good things. She's the one. So if you haven't read her, you need to. So absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
And the 3, I think, come in one book now, so you can actually just purchase the one copy. Yeah.
Yep. The collected works of Florence Scovel Shin. I keep that on my desk at all times. I refer to it constantly. Amazon.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to look and see if that's a book that my mom's got. That may be something I need to check out as well.
Yep, it's the game of life and how to play it. Your word is your wand.
The Game of Life.
Yep, and then
That's it. That was my
there's
first
4
one.
books total. There's The Secret Door to Success, and then The Power of the Spoken Word. Get the book.
Power of the Spoken Word.
Yep, love her, love her, love her. All right, see y'all Monday. Y'all stay out of trouble.
Okay.
I like you a lot.
Have a good weekend. I like y'all a lot.
I like y'all a lot.
Like you a lot. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I like you a lot.